Problem number 16. A ship sailing parallel to shore sights a lighthouse at an angle of 10 degrees from its direction of travel. After sailing 5 miles farther, the angle is 23 degrees. At that time, how far is the ship from the lighthouse? If you look at the problem, you'll notice that they describe that the ship from the direction of travel, so this is the line direction that describes the travel. This is the line that describes the line of sight from the ship to the lighthouse. So the ship, the starting point of the ship is right here in the problem, so let me call that S0, and the lighthouse is down here. So the 10 degrees is the angle formed by the direction of travel and the line of sight. The follow-up to that is the next angle, which still references the direction of travel of the ship and the line of sight of the ship. So this is the next location of the ship after it travels 5 miles. So that's why that's 23 degrees. The problem is asking us to find the distance from the ship to the lighthouse. So once the ship travels 5 miles, we want to know the distance from the ship to the lighthouse. So this is the triangle that we need to solve. A few things that we need to do first is to calculate the angles that we're missing. We need to calculate the angle that's a supplement to 23 degrees, and we calculate that angle by subtracting 180 degrees minus 23, so that gives us 157 degrees. That's the measure of that angle. We also need to know the measure of the angle here at this point inside the triangle, and of course we get that by adding the two interior angles and subtracting those from 180. So we already know it's 157, and we would add to that 10 degrees, and then we would subtract that from 180 degrees, and that will give us the measure of the angle down there. So let me do that. So that's a 13-degree angle. This angle right here is 13 degrees. Let me actually go through the trouble of labeling that. So this angle right here is 13 degrees. That's an important angle to know because it allows us to use the law of sines. We have this angle and the side opposite, so we can use the law of sines to solve for x, since we have the angle opposite side x. So we end up with the sine of 10 degrees divided by x equals the sine of 13 degrees divided by 5. And we can use cross multiplication, so 5 times the sine of 10 and sine of 13 times x, in order to find the value for x. So I end up with 5 sine 10 degrees equals x sine 13 degrees, and to solve for x, I can divide both sides by the sine of 13 degrees. So x will equal 5 sine 10, close parentheses, oops, made a mistake, close parentheses, divided by sine 13, close parentheses. So the value for x then, so the value for x, I've already forgotten it, is 3.9. And these were miles. Yeah, because they were 5 miles from the shore. So yeah, it is 3.9. So 3.9 miles.